Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Infinite Crypto Cruisers. Hey there, folks. My name is Brad Varnell, and this is the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here. How's everybody doing today, man? Let's go right into the incredible chat here. Thank you so much, Eric Bernstein, for being here first. I got the live stream started I got it set up a little bit later in the day than normal, and just within a handful of seconds, Eric was popped on here, so I appreciate that. That lets me know that he's got the notification bell turned on, as most of you probably do. So thank you so much for being here, Eric. And Deadwood, as always, reminding everybody to like, share, and subscribe. Always appreciated. Dave P., good morning, buddy. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you very, very much. And so far, you three are the only ones that have been in the chat. So thank you all for being here. Hope you are having a fantastic Wednesday. Folks, I want to get right into a couple of things here real quick. Let me share my screen. I have been talking about my beautiful niece that was coming into the world, and there she is. She was born on Monday afternoon at 1:37 p.m. Let me get over to the right screen share here. I don't have my son with me today, so I almost forgot to do this. Let me go add her to stage. There we go. There she is, born at 1:37 p.m. on July 8th, Monday, July 8th. Riley, she came into the world about 3 weeks early, but she's happy and healthy. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And so I haven't talked about it a ton here on my YouTube videos, but I kind of robbed the cradle. So my wife was 25 when I met her, and I was 38, getting ready to turn 39. So there's about a 14-year difference in our ages. And so long story short, she's only 36 and I'm 50. And she's really been wanting to have a baby for a long time. And it just, for whatever reason, it hasn't been in the cards for us. And at 50 years old, I'm kind of, gotten to the point where I'm pretty happy. The two children that I do have through her that I adopted are going to be 21 in October. And my son is turning 18 in just a little over a week. He's turning 18 on July 19th. And I'm like, hey, babe, I'm 50, getting ready to turn 51. Why don't we just enjoy life? We've got this incredible bull run, coming here at the end of this year. We're going to be able to travel. We're going to be able to do whatever we want to do. And long story short, man, after being there in the room, I hate this picture of me because it doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't do me much justice. Where'd it go here? I thought there was some pictures of me with the baby. Anyways, I won't. Well, there we are. So there's old Mr. Infinite Crypto, just in his basketball shorts and his, and a t-shirt. I hate the way my gut is sticking out in that. In my YouTube videos, I can hide my gut a little bit. You're mostly seeing me from, here up, where, man, you really get a full view of that big old tummy sticking out. But you can see by the look on my face that I'm just kind of mesmerized by this little, rascal. And so, more and more my wife is getting me on board with, the fact that I ain't too old, and that we would be amazing parents. And that if we did, if God blesses us with a baby, that it's going to be a lucky baby, and we're going to be lucky parents, So I'm an incredible, I love kids. I love animals. I love kids. It's almost amazing to me in a sense that I never had any biological children, that just one thing led to another. I always wanted kids. I assumed probably my goal, in fact, when I was younger, I envisioned having like 4 children. I didn't want a huge, 6, 7, 8 kid family, but I didn't want to be, just 1 or 2, at least back when I was 20 years old, envisioning my life. So I don't know what God is gonna bring over this next year, but I know that we're gonna double down on our efforts and do everything that we can to have a baby. If God wants to bless us with a baby, it's going to be exciting. But kind of the cool thing about it, if we can get pregnant in the near future, is, our baby will have Riley, who would be, say, about a year old or so, in that ballpark. And then my daughter is 3 months pregnant. She's going to have a baby at the end of this year, beginning of January. So we would literally just be, 3 to 6 months behind our daughter. So we would have these 3 babies in the family that were all born within about a year of each other, that could kind of grow up, even though they're going to be, nieces and nephews and sisters. They're all going to be, slightly different to each other. They would all be, part of the same family, grow up in the same area. My daughter lives here in Vegas also. And here I am, it's 9:15, and I'm still talking about babies in my family. And you guys are wondering, hey, like, isn't today supposed to be Wednesday Crypto Gems Day, Brad? Let's get off the picture of you with the baby and talk some crypto. So fair enough. I'll switch over here to CoinGecko, and wanted to just kind of go over a little bit of the market here. I pulled this up not too long ago, so it's pretty current. You can see here we've got, a sea of green if you look at the 24-hour and the 1 hour. So Bitcoin is up, closing in on, and might as well, basically be 58. Ethereum has bounced back from, 2,800 or so, 2,900 up to over 3,100. And everything here, at least in the first 2 columns, is, pretty much up for the last 24 hours. What does that mean? Means absolutely nothing, folks. Tomorrow we can see another sea of red, or we could continue to see green. But I will say that I have a feeling that we're gonna have a good summer. If you were to ask me to prove it through technical analysis, I can't. That's not my forte. And with the last couple of days has been like they have been, in and out of hospitals and doing all the, so we've been running around and running errands for my sister-in-law and just, doing a lot of stuff. I haven't really, gotten on and listened to a Frankie Candles or a Crypto Lifer over the last couple of days. So some of you that have been more engaged in crypto, you might have a better idea than me, technical analysis wise, but I'm just going to stick with my thesis that we are, we got July, August, September, October, November, and then we're having an election here in the United States. And over the course of that time, I am a firm believer that both political parties, and the political party that's in power right now especially, and wants to stay in power, is going to do everything that they can to make this economy look like it's headed in the right direction and look like it's moving and growing, and the stock market's booming. The stock market's booming, and interest rates are going down, and inflation's going down. Whether it's real or contrived, it's going to cause the financial markets to soar, in my opinion. So I believe, as I've said before, that the world is conspiring for us right now in this moment in time. I can't swear what's going to happen after the election, but over the next 6 months, and and slightly longer, I believe that we're in for a very incredible ride. Not only has Bitcoin halved, and not only has the exchange traded funds been put into place, and now we've got Ethereum coming and Solana coming and several others coming, that I really do believe that over the next handful of months, folks, we are in for some incredible upside. With that, let me pop back out here, and then hopefully I can remember to go back down to where I need to be. So let me see here. Deadwood says, the grandpa stage is great. That's what I keep telling my wife, Deadwood. I keep telling her, hey, our daughter is having a baby here in 6 months, so we're going to be grandparents. Our son, he's only 18, but with his Christian beliefs and his values, I don't think he'll be a real old guy before he finds the lady that he wants to settle down with and gets married and starts having children. I mean, yeah, it could still be 2, 3, 4, 5 years off, but I don't think he's going to be, like I didn't really get all the way committed to a person and get married for the first time until I was about 28 years old. And that's part of the reason that I didn't have kids, is partially because I was a little older in life, and then one thing led to another, and we didn't have any kids right away. And then we ended up, unfortunately, my first marriage didn't work out. And so then there was some time in between my first marriage and my current, situation, the lady that I have now that I'm in, so in love with, and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, man, I kind of like the idea of being a grandparent more so than just having one of my own, in a way, Deadwood. But at the same time, happy life, happy wife. And I see how my bride is with this baby and the joy on her face. And she's just such an incredible mom. And I know that she would love to have one child that is ours. I came into my son and daughter's life a little bit late. My son was 6, getting pretty close to 7, and my daughter was 9, going to be 10 in like 3 months. So I got, pretty close to 7 and 10. And while it's been unbelievable and fantastic, and I love them with all of my heart, something about missing that early stages, especially, not to pat myself on the back, but my attitude and my positivity and my outlook on life is what I believe can be so shaping in a baby's life. During that first 5-6 years, I think that my children, unfortunately, they didn't grow up in a positive environment with uplifting and positive people. My wife did the best that she could. She was a young single mom, and so on and so forth. I'm not blaming anybody, but both of my kids are incredible kids, but they just, they grew up with a little bit a lack of self-esteem, and very, very, like my daughter to this day is so extremely shy and very, very, little self-confidence. What if, like, you asked her, if I told her, hey kiddo, I need you to take my place here for a minute and talk to these folks, just talk to them about whatever you want to talk to, whatever's on your heart, just talk to them for a couple of minutes, I'll be right back, she would probably faint and fall over. And I couldn't do it. I probably couldn't offer her $1,000 to get on here and talk to you guys for 5 minutes. And so what is my point is that if I did have a baby, it would be cool to be able to mold that little guy or gal from the time that they came out of the womb, and really hopefully instill some of this positive and excitement about life. Teach them right from the beginning. They wouldn't have any desire to to be probably employed by somebody else. And interesting, give me a second here. My wife is messaging me. Hopefully, oh yeah, okay, sounds good, babe. Anyways, we are excited to see what the future brings. And hey, Amy, good morning. How you doing? Good to see you. And so let's get into some crypto. So for the last couple of days, like I said, I've been kind of taking care of babies and doing life. And so does anybody here that's watching have anything on their mind? Do they have any cryptos that they are excited about? Anything that they've been taking a look at? I was mentioning that I think this is going to be a great summertime for us. I really think that July and August are probably going to end up being pretty good months. And so I know that we're all in this for the long term, and I'm always talking about what's going to happen towards the end of this year at the peak of the bull market when Bitcoin is $100,000 plus. But in the short term, there's going to be some tokens that take off and run, and that might, do a 2 or 3 or 4 or 5x here over the next week or two or month or two. And it's always fun to find a couple of those tokens where we can have some excitement and enjoy crypto, in the short term. And so, it's love to have you guys. If any of you have any ideas, any cryptos on your mind, please share them with us right now, because I'm kind of out of new cryptos, to be totally blunt. I've always been a firm believer. I heard Ed Milet once say that the job of a leader is not to say new things all the time, to old people, so you don't, as a good leader is not going to get on here and talk about new things all the time. If it's, like, it should be a sign that you're following the wrong person if every single time they get on camera they're talking totally different. And so the job of a leader is actually to say the same thing over and over and over and over, but try to find different creative ways to say it to new people, so that as your audience grows and as the people that resonate with your message and get excited about your point of view become, your community, your ride or dies, everything grows and is good. So one of the challenges of an influencer is, I know that a lot of you are like, okay, what token is Brad going to bring to the table today? And when it really comes down to it, I don't have a new token right now. A lot of the tokens that I've talked about over the last 3-4 months, I still believe are incredible tokens. And most of the time and most of my money would probably go to a lot of those tokens. So, let me see what we've got going on here. I got a quick question for you guys. In the meantime, I see that Deadwood has a couple of things here in the chat, so we're going to go look. What about a token called Archblock, ABT? Let me pull this up real fast and see if any of you have an opinion on this token. So Archblock, ticker ABT. The reason that this is coming to my attention is because I have a good friend, a guy that's been in crypto for the last 4 years, really mostly just buying stuff that I've been telling him about, getting involved in private sales and doing a lot of the stuff that he hears about on this channel. But he recently, when I say recently, probably back in January, February, came across this token Archblock, and he had literally bought into it at about $0.25. And when he told me about it, it was at $1.25. And just, to be perfectly blunt, because it had already gone up, 400 or 500%, I didn't really take it seriously. I kind of felt like I was a little too late to the party on it. You can imagine here it's sitting at a $200 billion market cap. But back then at $1.25, it was still at a little over 100 million. And I kind of missed a boat, because if you take a look here at its all-time high, it ran all the way up from, that $1.25 range all the way up to $4.69. And you can see here that since May 13th of 2020, about 4 years ago, it's up, 41x from its all-time low in 2020. So I'm wondering, folks, what do you think about this? This is a token that you can buy on Coinbase. And he seems to still be pretty excited about it. He kept buying. He made a pretty good chunk of money on this. Now it's got this 56% retracement, 55% retracement, and it's down to, a couple of dollars. And so, just real quick, anybody here been looking into or seen this Archblock token, ABT, at all? I'll give you guys a minute or two for the comments to catch up in the YouTube. In the meantime, Deadwood, Velo looks like a good buy. Okay, let's go take a look at Velo. If I remember, that is short for Velodrome. And I actually got an airdrop of Velodrome a while back and sold it. I don't know if that's the right Velo or not. Does that look like the right Velo to you at Deadwood? This just says Velo. I thought it was Velodrome. There we go. I think you're talking about this one here. Yeah, Velodrome Finance. Sitting here at about 7 cents. Deadwood, I'm trying to remember. That's right. Okay, so it's on its main chain is the Optimism network. But aren't Velodrome and Aerodrome Finance kind of, brother or sister tokens? Like they're connected through, Coinbase and the Base network and different stuff, if I remember correctly, Deadwood. anyways, let's see here. So, it's sitting at a $51 million market cap. So I like the fact that it definitely still has, some serious room to run. It's, down 81% from its all-time high. So 3 months ago, it popped all the way up to 37 cents. So I know a lot of people get scared. They think to themselves, man, if this token has gone down 81% in the last 3 months, how can it be a good buy? Fundamentally, in the traditional world, in the traditional stock market, folks, if a stock goes down 81% in 3 months, it's usually a goner. Like most traditional finance companies on the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ, they don't lose 81% of their value unless something crazy happened inside of the company. So I can understand where that might make some of you a little bit nervous if you're coming from more of a traditional finance background. But in crypto, this happens all the time. And I don't know if it's good or bad. It just is. And we got to deal with it. But this is the kind of stuff that made me a lot of money during the last bull market, was being willing to buy these tokens when there was blood in the street. Because if it's a good project with good fundamentals, this can still happen to it. We have token after token after token that's gotten wiped out, that for whatever reason, the markets follow Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's going up and to the right, for the most part, most of the other coins follow suit. Same thing. You have very, very few outliers that when Bitcoin is crashing down, it was at 73, it went all the way down to as low as 53,000 over the last week. Now it's back up to 57, 58. But like Bitcoin, for whatever reason, moves the whole market. I do think that there will come a day when Bitcoin maybe doesn't move the market the way that it does, but it just is what it is. And these tokens, it's not that unusual for this kind of stuff to happen. So I wouldn't be scared by that. In fact, like I say, it would be kind of an exciting situation. If you can buy this token right now at 7 cents, when it was 37 cents just 3 months ago. And then imagine if it was 37 3 months ago when Bitcoin was 73, how much is this token going to be worth when Bitcoin's 85, 105, 125, 150, 200,000? You're talking about this could be a multiple dollar, token. So how much room does it have to run? It's hard to say, but it definitely looks like it could be an amazing token. Let's see what Deadwood. So Aerodrome is a copy of Vela. Okay. And then looks like it just bounced off the bottom of the trend line on the daily. So that is, also very important. I'm not a super technical analysis kind of guy, but at the same time, I understand support and resistance. And so if this is a token that just kind of bounced off the bottom of the trend line on the daily and looks like it might be heading back up, not only could this be a great token, long term, but it sounds like it could be a fun token to get into and potentially not be underwater on it. Like just about anything that we've bought over the last 3 months, we're probably underwater on, at least, for a short period of time. And that's, one of the things about crypto. I always say that crypto is one of the easiest things in the world to create wealth with, but it's also one of the hardest. And that is why, because imagine that you're a good friend of mine and you finally raise your hand and say, hey, Brad, I'm excited. I see the life that you're creating for yourself. I see your YouTube channel. I want to get involved in crypto. And so you and I hop on a phone call 3, 4, 5 months ago. I don't have a crystal ball. So I know that the market is going well. What I do know is that at the end of this year, things I believe are going to be incredible. And so we jump in. I can't tell you, hey, the market's going to have a huge dip, a huge decline over the next 3 months, and most of your portfolio is going to get wiped out. So you should wait 3 or 4 months to buy, because I don't have a crystal ball. And maybe the market, could have continued going up. And in my opinion, anything that somebody bought 3 months ago is still going to be an incredible value in another 6, 9 months. And they get the opportunity to get an education, to get in and learn more about what they're doing, and they have the ability to dollar cost average. So for every reason I just mentioned, I'm going to have that person start buying tokens. And so how exciting is it back then? I tell them about Aerodrome, it's say $1. and they buy some aerodrome, and all of a sudden aerodrome in a very short period of time is worth $2.30. They think that I am the bee's knees. They love me. I'm like their best friend. And so they start buying more stuff. And then all of a sudden we have this 3-4 months that we've had recently where most of the altcoins have gotten beaten down by 50, 60, 70, as you can see here, Velodrome, 80%. And so now their $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 is getting slaughtered. They're down 50, 60, 75% in their positions. And they're calling me up, not yelling and screaming, but freaking out. And I don't blame them because they're new to crypto. Somebody that's been around for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, is probably not freaking out the same way that a newer person is. But a newer person, especially if they're used to investing in the stock market, 5% one way or the other is a pretty respectable move in the stock market. And so in crypto, when they've got they got $1,000 in a token, like say they got started with me and they put $1,000 into 5 different tokens. So they got $5,000 into the market. And now all of a sudden, 90 days later, their $5,000 is worth $1,500, $2,000. A lot of times they're freaking out and they now believe that I'm an idiot, that I don't know what I'm talking about. And unfortunately, a lot of times, they lose hope and they will end up out of the market or they will disengage. They quit taking my phone calls. They quit taking my recommendations. And once again, it just goes back to getting rich in crypto is so simple, but it's emotionally one of the hardest things that you can do that plays on your emotions. It's very, very hard. You have the emotions of when it's getting slaughtered. You also have the exact opposite emotions, like when it's going up. All of a sudden, you've got this $5,000 or $10,000 invested into the market, and it's now worth $20,000 or $30,000. At that point in time, just as many people make the mistake of being excited. Hey, I turned $5,000 into $30,000. How greedy do I want to get? I mean, man, it just can't keep going up forever. And I want to go buy that new car. I want to put a down payment on a house. I want to go take this, month-long trip to Italy or whatever. And I know so many people that will take the majority of that profit and cash it out. And in the moment, they're happy because they turned $5,000 into 25 or 30 grand. But 6 months from now, when that 30 grand would have been worth, $500,000, and they would have been able to contemplate quitting their job and having financial freedom and stuff in their life, and they sold their future for 25 or 30 grand. And so one of the, the hardest thing, the reason that most people don't get involved in crypto goes back to, one, they're not patient enough, and 2, they're in too big of a hurry. And so we are in just a beautiful, beautiful place and time, folks, where if you can control your emotions and continue to invest while everything has gotten the heck beaten out of it like it has over the last, 3-4 months, you're really going to put yourself in a position where you can find some amazing tokens. And so Velodrome is a token that I have heard about. It is a token that we have been able to, I've done a little bit of research on it when I started buying into Coinbase, Aerodrome, I did a little bit of research on it, and I know that Deadwood knows what he's talking about. So that looks like a pretty cool looking token to take into account and do a little closer look at. Waterboy says she's beautiful. Congratulations. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, she is beautiful. Incredible little baby. Where was the other one? So the second one here was Dave B. ALB here real quick. And then we're going to look into Dave P., the Ton ecosystem. So let's run over here back to CoinGecko and look up ALB real quick. Holy smokes, it's almost been 40 minutes we've been on here already, huh? ALB, so Alien Base. So I think you did mention that it's a token that's on the Base network, which, that is a narrative that I am excited about. I believe the Base network is going to do phenomenal during this bull market. I think that the Base network is set up to capitalize on its huge Coinbase user base. And I do believe that the ecosystem for the Base network is just going to grow stronger and stronger over the course of this bull market. So I see the very first thing that I see that I love is it's only got a $5 million market cap. So folks, this is one where you don't have to necessarily go crazy. $50, $100, $500. You know, if you really wanted to go out on the end of the limb, you know, $1,000 into a token like this can be absolutely life-changing if it takes off, because we're talking, you know, a lot of tokens during this next, you know, 6 to 9 months. If they take off, they're going to go into the hundreds of millions in market cap, the good ones, and some of them potentially all the way up into the billions. So when you've got one that's here at, you know, 5 going on $6 million market cap, the fact that it could have a 50 or 100 or a 500x in it, it's certainly possible. It's not going to happen with a lot of them, but if you can do your research, do your due diligence, and just find a couple, you only need a couple that you can get 100x on if you got $500, $1,000 invested in them to, you know, totally change, you know, the wealth needle in your life. So let's go do a quick market check on it. So it looks like it's on Uniswap. It looks like it's on Alien Base. So this is another DEX. It looks like on the Base network. So it looks like a competitor to Aerodrome. And the cool thing about competition, folks, is it makes everybody better. And, you know, Aerodrome, I don't know the exact market cap of Aerodrome right now, but I believe it's still up in, you know, the multiple hundreds of millions, or, you know, very, very high up towards 100 million or so. We could take a peek at it. But you've got a new one here, you know, the new kid in town, Alien Base. And if this ends up being a, you know, a competitor, it could certainly do some damage. Let's go take a quick peek at Arrow just for the fun of it and see where it's at. This is another one, you know, me and Deadwood both bought this when it was down in the 40s and 50s. So we've already made, you know, the last buy that I made on this was at about 43 cents. So I'm up almost 50% in less than a week. So it is fun when you can catch these tokens, you know, at a lower price. You know, you can see right here, just in the last week, it was all the way down. Well, this is, I guess it was slightly over a week ago, but it was in the 50s. But look at this, folks, $321 million market cap. And right now it's at 62 cents. Its all-time high was at $2.31. So it's around a 3 going on 4x from its all-time high, which means at 3x, this was $1 billion token pretty close at its peak. And then, you know, we go back to ALB and we're talking about a $6 million token. So, you know, right now it's got a 50x in it just to get to where Aerodrome currently is. So let's go take a quick peek at the Alien Base. So it's alienbase.xyz. Click over to this tab. Good. I wanted to double check, make sure I was actually on the right place. So bringing alien tech to humans, trade, earn, and get rewarded for holding ALB. And so looks like you can let's click the trade now button. Is that going to want to connect to a wallet? No, not yet. Yeah, there we go. So it gives you an opportunity to connect to a wallet so you can swap. You've got farms and, you know, a bridge and so on and so forth. So, yeah, thank you so much, Deadwood. I tell you guys are so valuable. This community is so valuable. There's 20,000 tokens out there. What are the odds that I'm going to come across Alien Base just all on my own, doing my own research? Of course, there's other tokens out there like Alien Base that are probably going to be phenomenal, but just being on this live stream, it's so valuable for me too, because I'm going to go do a little bit more research. I'm probably going to buy this thing, and when it 50 or 100 X's, I'm going to get a ton of credit. People are going to love me. Oh, the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel turned me on to Alien Base, because if they don't watch this video, they won't necessarily know that it was Deadwood's idea. But my point is, it's just such a valuable community. And then one of the things I do try to do is, as I do more research, if I do make more videos on this token, I definitely will give Deadwood the credit. But at the same time, you know, once again, like, I'm sitting here loving this show and trying to give you guys value. At the same time, Deadwood might have just made me thousands and thousands of dollars for me taking the time to be here. So I love you, Deadwood. Thank you again for for doing that. As far as ton, it's hard to go into the ton ecosystem, but let's go back here to CoinGecko. Make sure I'm on the right spot there. And then let's just go take a quick peek at the ton token. So ton coin, $7.29, and it's an $18 billion market cap. So, you know, this is a token that broke into the top 10 now. It's number 9. I do think that the ton coin is going to be a good token. It's obviously been a fantastic token. You know, over the last 3 years, it's gone up. It's done a 13x from its all-time low of 51 cents. Its all-time high was $8.25. So it's, you know, pretty close to its all-time high. As far as checking into the ecosystem, that's something that I can't do on this video, but that's something that's probably a wise move. I've heard a lot of different influencers that have talked about the ton token and the ton ecosystem. And so I think that this is definitely worth looking into the ecosystem. It's just not possible to really do it here, but similar to the way that we are finding tokens on the base network that we like, I think that it would be wise to take a close look at the ton ecosystem and maybe find some plays on ton that you like. You know, ICP swap, or, you know, ICP Internet Computer Token is another network that we're really high on around here. Deadwood also brought me a token called ICP Swap that's on the ICP network. And so I think that there's a lot of merit in several of these networks, and getting involved and checking out some of the ecosystem and some of the tokens, the DEXs, the launch pads, you know, the AI tokens, maybe some meme tokens. And so thank you, Dave P., for bringing that to our attention. And if you have any specific tokens that are on the ton network, I would love to hear about them. So definitely, please, you know, hit me in the chat if you've got any specific tokens that you're looking at on the ton network. And then here we go. We've got Eric Bernstein. I've been looking at a swing trade on CRV. It got pretty oversold by that news on the founder. Those ETH ETF inflows could potentially give it a nice boost. So let's go take a quick peek at CRV. That is a token that I believe I owned at one time. I want to say that the ticker CRV is the Curve token. So let's go here to, yeah, Curve DAO CRV. This is actually a token that I owned during the last bull market, and I made a pretty good chunk of money on this token. As you can see here, its all-time low was 22 cents, which was about, you know, just recently, but its all-time high was $15. I want to say that this is a token that I bought into during the previous bull market. It's somewhere around $1 or in that ballpark, maybe a little bit less. And you know, you can see here August 14th of 2020 was its all-time high. And so I did make some money on this token. And like here, you know, like Eric is saying, it's beaten down right now. It's basically pretty close to as low as it's ever been. I did not hear the news on the founder, but yeah, I love it when something happens to a token that really destroys the price. I'm not happy about it for the current investors, but I'm huge on taking a closer look at those situations. And if you really believe that it's not going to cause the token to go out of business and go bankrupt, then these are massive buying opportunities where you can really buy something that's gotten really beaten up. You know, you can see here for people that took, you know, that were looking at this, and Eric, you know, got it down here at 27 cents. They've already, it's not a lot, but they're already from 27 going up, you know, closing in on 29 cents. So you're talking about from 27 to 30 is a 10% gain. That's nothing to sneeze at in a short period of time. You know, we're talking about this is in the last, you know, 24 hours here. If you zoom out, you can see here where it's down, you know, 29% for the month. let's go out to this chart here and just even look at the 7-day. So you can see here, on the 7-day, if somebody had the conviction that Eric had, they could have bought into this thing a week ago at, 22 cents and already been up. What is that? 10% is 2.2 cents. So about 30%. So from 22 to 28 is about 30%. So you could have made a 30% gain on your money. You could have turned 10 grand into 13 grand in a week. And so this is a project that I would definitely be comfortable putting some money into, taking a flyer on it. And like I said, it was around during the last bull market. And I think that it would certainly be a good one to have on our radar. Anything right now that's all the way down to its previous all-time low or very close to it, I think is definitely a token worth giving some consideration to. Let me see here. Yeah, apathy to the volatility is a powerful skill. The more that I learn about this old world, in most things in life, I'm trying to get to where I don't get too depressed when unfortunate things happen or things don't go my way. And I'm trying not to get too excited and too high when things go fantastically. There's something to be said for kind of keeping that middle ground. Don't get me wrong. I think it's important to celebrate your wins and to give your mind that little bit of a dopamine rush, and it gets excited about the little wins in life. And when you have a big win, it's cool to get excited about it, but don't get so excited about it that you quit doing the things that got you the result. And also don't get so excited about it because life is cyclical, and what goes up most of the time comes down. So wins in life a lot of times are short-lived, but so are losses. And I think what happens is a lot of people think that wins are going to last forever, and then they're not prepared when it goes backwards. And then they also think that losses are going to last forever. It's a weird paradox. Like whatever moment in time they're in, the average person feels like it's going to last forever. And so when things are going bad, when things are going down, a lot of people believe that that's going to be the same, that it's like that's what they have to look forward to forever. And that's almost never the case, folks, especially if you can keep your mindset right and focused on the uplifting, powerful, positive things. Tough times never last, but tough people do. One of my favorite sayings. What else do we got here? I'm trying not to miss anything. You guys have been talking like crazy. So in the ton ecosystem, there are two that I'm looking at. One is called Tonorium. Can't even pronounce it. The ticker is TOR. Tonorium. We'll go with. Ticker is TOR. It is the first proof of work on Ton. Hard to get and need to have a Ton wallet to go from there. Okay, so I'm going to write that down here real quick, folks. TOR, Tonorium. I need to get a Ton wallet anyways, Dave P, because I do think getting a little bit of Ton is not a bad idea. A little Ton, little Caspa, little ICP. Like I think that Ton is kind of moving itself into a ranks of like owning a little bit of Chainlink and Polkadot and Matic and stuff. Being up there in the top 25, it's probably owning a bunch of Ton it's not gonna make you rich unless you own a lot of it, but it can definitely be a boost to your portfolio. And then a lot of those tokens that are up in the top 10, when things are going poorly, they do go down, but they don't go down anywhere near like the small, mid, and micro caps. So I will take a closer look at that. In fact, let's do a real quick CoinGecko, see if it's on CoinGecko TOR. I'm not seeing that particular cash. What was it called? Tonor. Let's see if we go. There we go. I don't know why I didn't want to come in just with TOR. So, wow, up 57% for the day. So, holy smokes, $740,000 market cap. You ain't kidding when you say that it must be kind of hard to get to. So, folks, this could be a sleeping giant. I would recommend that we all do our own due diligence But man, $740,000 market cap. It can only be bought on this StoneFi Dex, and it sounds like you have to have a ton wallet. But this looks like something that might be worth spending a little bit of time today doing some research, figuring out exactly how to buy this. Let's run over to its website. I mean, fact of the matter is, folks, if you throw $100, $200, $500 at something like this and it goes to zero, it's not gonna, it ain't gonna change most of our lives. If we lose $100 or we lose $500, it's never fun, but it's not gonna bankrupt us. It'd be fantastic if this wanted to load the rest of the way. Oh, my computer drive me crazy sometimes. Get rid of some of these tabs, and let's just try this one more time. X out of that, and then try hitting it another time here and see if that will help. Well, folks, for whatever reason, it doesn't look like Tenorium wants us to look at their website today. So, folks, I'm not going to spend all day here while waiting for that to load. You guys can go to CoinGecko. You can pull up their website. You can look at their white paper here. They've got their Twitter and their Telegram. Take a quick peek at their Twitter if it'll load. I don't know if it's all websites that aren't going to load for me all of a sudden. No, the Twitter is pulling up. So we can see here they got 51,000 followers. And Tenorium employs a unique combination of proof of link and proof of work algorithms. It's got the contract address here. So if you want to make sure that you're buying the right one, got a link tree to all of their different socials here. So you can really do, a deep dive on these. Oh, it looks like my screen got not sharing my screen. Let's go back here to there, and let's go back into, we got to add that to the stage. There we go. So this is their link tree here that I got to from their Twitter. So let me go back and share the Twitter tab there. Yeah, so you can see here on Twitter over 51,000 followers, 53,000 followers. So yeah, man, that looks like it could be a very, very hidden gem. And like I say, the Ton coin is super popular. It's been doing incredible things. I know people that have been investing in it since it was 10, 15 cents. And so people that got into Ton early have made fortunes, and people that get into the right coins on the Ton ecosystem can potentially make some incredible fortunes also. So thank you so much for taking a look at that. Let me see here. Give me a second. I am going to super chat a website that has to do with fractionalized real estate, obviously, or awesome. Hey, there it is. Thank you so much for that, Tim. I appreciate the super chats. They go towards good stuff. Right now we've got the Infinite Crypto Inner Circle that I'm getting ready to add some more funds to. So, full transparency, we had another person join the Inner Circle yesterday that did the 6 months for $497. And we've had a couple of new people that are just doing it monthly. So I've got some more funds that I want to invest into the Inner Circle rewards wallet. So everything that you guys do like this with these super chats is so appreciated. Most of it goes back into the giveaways that we do for the different tokens that we love, and the videos that we do when we do giveaways. And then we're going to be adding more funds to the rewards wallet. So for those of you that aren't part of the Inner Circle, you definitely want to take a closer look at that. In fact, we haven't taken down the 4th of July promotion yet, because like I say, we've just been super, super busy. And so this is going to disappear here in the very near future. But right now you can get 50% off of the Inner Circle for your first 2 months. So I'll put the link here into the chat, where you guys can check that out. That should hyperlink for you guys, I believe. But you can go to realinfinitecrypto.com, get all of the information on the Inner Circle. And right now, we've got a coupon code on there where you get 50% off for your first 2 months. So let's go back up here to the Super Chat. And lofty.ai is the website that we're going to go take a look at. So let me pull that up. Lofty.ai. I like the fact that it's got AI in it. Make sure, since I don't have my son here, good. Yeah, I got to make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Let's get over there, hit share this tab. There we go. You know, it's interesting too, Tim, that you bring this to our attention, because I really do like the idea of fractional real estate. And well, let's take a closer look at this project. And I also want to mention that here in the very near future, I'm actually going to be working with a project called Baron Real Estate that is doing something. I haven't looked at Lofty enough to know how similar they are, but it is going to be somewhat in this genre for sure. And so I'm actually going to be on the website. I'm going to be one of the marketing, directors, one of the marketing partners. And so I am excited about fractionalized real estate. And I think it is a pretty cool way to be able to get into real estate with a smaller amount of money and still get some of the benefits of real estate. So fractional real estate marketplace, invest in rental properties without getting locked in or out. Buy just a fraction of a property and collect your first rent payment. Interesting. Don't get left behind by the legacy real estate market. It's time for a change, rising down payments, so on and so forth. Lofty helps anyone lay a path to financial freedom with fractional real estate investing. So, looks like here they've got, like different properties that you can invest in, that you can buy a share of. And then it says automatically receive rental income. You'll get your first rent payment that same day and daily after that. Your holdings will grow along with the property value also. Build the future you deserve. Use your rental income to buy more and more real estate. And Viola, you're on the path to financial freedom. So I do like that aspect too. It's kind of an all or nothing. If I was going to invest in a platform like this, I would want to compound my earnings until I got up to where the rental income, the passive income, was a substantial enough amount of money to really do something with. So if you just throw $50 or $100 or something at a project like this and it's throwing off, a few cents or $1 or $2 a day, then I recommend kind of compounding it until you get to the point where maybe you have, $100 or $200 or $500 a month coming in. And then you can maybe look at diversifying, buying tokens with it, or just, continue to go. This is, is definitely something worth looking at. And you can see here, it looks like you can actually look at the different, projects and the estimated annual return. You can decide which ones you want to invest in. So let's see what happens here. If we click on that, does it go? Yeah, it goes to, that investment. So you can see here, it looks like you can buy in for as little as about a $50 bill. You can learn a little bit more about the project. The annual return is estimated to be about 15%. And it looks like there's, a buy button here and so on and so forth. So, yeah, 7-acre horse ranch in California with spectacular mountain views. The property owner, Miriam Jones, is selling equity in her primary residence on the Lofty. Come on, I don't want to get into your newsletter. I want to read this. Into the Lofty marketplace. Miriam will pay investors a rental yield of 15% and will buy back all of her equity in 3 years for a total of 4% appreciation for investors. There's no fee when equity is bought back, and investors can still trade their tokens on the Lofty marketplace at any time. So yeah, thank you so much for bringing that to our attention. Lofty.ai. So for those of you that like the idea of investing in tokenized and fractionalized real estate, this looks like it could be a great one to look at. I would definitely want to know a little bit more about it, how long it's been around, if it's been doing this now for a few years. I know there's a few of these platforms that have been around for a while now, so would love to get to know a little bit more about that project. So thank you very much, Tim, for bringing that to our attention. So Dave P says he likes Lofty and he also likes Rio. Yes, sir. Mr. Dave Rio will be a big winner also. Deadwood, been waiting on Polytrade to find its bottom. Real world asset project on Matic. Don't know when it will reverse. So let me write that down. Usually I got my son here and he's kind of writing some of this down and helping me to Polytrade. Let me keep a closer eye on that. What do we got here? Can somebody let Mr. Brad know it's a website? I am probably going to lose service in my garage area at work. Awesome. No worries, Tim. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. That's a great find, and I'm looking forward to doing a little bit more research. Yes, Magoo, how you doing, buddy? You did make a live. Welcome, 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 man. Glad to have you here. This gentleman has been a long time supporter of the channel. Been around for at least a couple of years now, and excited to have you here. I hope you are doing well. Lofty AI looks awesome, Tim, says Eric. And then Labs is going to be a project like this. Faked airdrop after token rebranding to get folks to hold for eligibility 8 months ago. So that doesn't sound like a very positive situation. So, well, with that, folks, we've been going for a little over an hour. We got a handful of tokens checked out. You got to see my beautiful niece, Riley, and enjoy some beautifulness in the baby category today. And got to listen to a bunch of my baloney about my kids and possibly having one of our own. I'm excited to potentially over the next 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months to announce that I am going to be a father in the future. So I'm getting more and more excited about it by the minute. And so once again, for those of you that believe in the power of prayer, please pray for my wife and I. Her name is Deanna. So just, say a prayer. Ask God to bless us with a baby if that's his will. Thy will be done. If he wants us to have a baby, he wants to bless us with a beautiful bundle of joy. Twins run in both of our families, so there's some potential. We keep laughing and saying, with our luck, we'll probably have twins. But that would be awesome too. But just, I appreciate and I believe in the power of prayer. So for those of you that are believers and would pray for my wife and I, please do that. That would be greatly appreciated. I would love you for it. So thank you all. Have fun practicing, Brad and Deanna. Yeah, that's another cool thing about babies is it is fun to practice, Deadwood. Absolutely. So all right, guys, I love you all very much. It was fantastic day today. God bless you all. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and we will see you again here very soon in the next video. Take care.